Over 12 kilometers deep into the Earth's interior, drilled for over 25 years, then suddenly sealed. What did the Soviets find in the deepest man-made borehole in the world? Why did they stop the project? And what is the truth behind the rumors of screams from hell?
Be sure to stay until the end because this story is absolutely fascinating. We're going to take a look at the original footage. A warm welcome, everyone. A race to the center of the Earth sounds like something out of a Jules Verne novel, but it was reality. While in the 1960s, the USA and the Soviet Union were fighting for supremacy in space, another, much less well-known race was raging at the same time. Who can get deeper into the Earth's interior? Feel free to let me know in the And if you always want to be informed right away about such fascinating scientific projects, incredible discoveries, and the secrets of our planet, then go ahead and subscribe to the channel now. Subscribing doesn't cost anything, you'll never miss a video again, and you'll be helping me out a lot. And if you're already subscribed, giving the video a thumbs up helps it a lot. Maybe we'll hit 5,000 likes. Thank you so much, everyone. So now let's travel to the Kola Peninsula in Russia, near the border with Norway and Finland.
Here, hidden between rusted metal plates and rotting wood, all that remains today is an inconspicuous manhole cover. But beneath it lies something enormous. The Kola Borehole, at 12,262 meters deep, the deepest hole ever drilled by humans into the Earth. To put that into perspective, if you stacked Mount Everest and Mount Fuji on top of each other underground, you would reach a depth similar to that of the Kola Borehole. It is even deeper than the Mariana Trench, the deepest point in our oceans, and its diameter is just 23 centimeters.
Imagine this, a paper-thin hole reaching kilometers deep into the Earth, like a tiny pinprick in our planet's skin. I asked an AI to create a video of the Earth complaining about us drilling into it, and this is what it came up with. Ow, that hurts. What the heck is this? Okay, that's weird. But anyway, so why did the Soviets even start drilling in this exact spot back in 1970?
From a scientific point of view, the answer is quite simple. The Kola Peninsula offers direct access to the oldest rocks on Earth. Normally, these ancient rocks are buried under kilometers of younger sediment. But here on the Kola Peninsula, rocks that are over 2 billion years old lie exposed. For geologists, it's like hitting the jackpot, the perfect opportunity to look deep into the planet's past. The project started in May 1970 with ambitious goals. The researchers wanted to drill at least 15 kilometers deep and unlock the secrets of the Earth's crust. They wanted to understand how our planet is structured, how earthquakes occur, and whether there might even be life down there, and what they found exceeded all expectations.
The first years of drilling actually went pretty smoothly. By 1975, after 5 years of drilling, they had already reached 7 kilometers.
It may sound slow, but this isn't like drilling for oil, where you just drill away. No, in this scientific drilling, the researchers had to carefully extract rock samples without damaging them. This process is called coring. Imagine having to extract centimeter-thick rock cylinders from a depth of 7 kilometers with a tiny drill without breaking them. That takes a hell of a lot of patience, but the effort was worth it, because what the scientists found at these depths turned some previous theories upside down. First, the transition from granite to basalt that had been expected simply did not exist. Based on seismic measurements, geologists had firmly expected to find this transition. The rock behaved completely differently than expected. Even crazier was the second discovery, water, at depths of 6 to 7 kilometers where there should not have been any water. Not just a few drops, but actual water-bearing cracks and fissures in the rock. The researchers suspected that the extreme pressure at these depths had squeezed the water out of the crystal lattices of the rocks. The absolute highlight was yet to come: fossils. At a depth of 7 kilometers, the scientists found microscopic fossils of single-celled marine organisms, and these little guys were ancient. 2 billion years old, 24 different species could be identified.
And that was proof that even in these extreme depths, under such conditions, biological material can be preserved for billions of years. I mean, just imagine that. Billions of years old marine organisms buried kilometers deep beneath the Earth? Let's be glad it was only marine organisms and not a Balrog or something.
You shall not pass!
But as exciting as these discoveries were, the biggest challenge still lay ahead for the engineers. The deeper they drilled, the hotter it got. Much hotter than expected. Up to a depth of about 3 kilometers, everything was as predicted. But then things got strange. At a depth of 12 kilometers, they measured temperatures of 180 degrees Celsius, which was twice what had been calculated.
Why was that a problem? At such temperatures, rocks suddenly behave very differently. They become softer, almost plastic-like.
At the same time, the density also increases. This was a disaster for the drilling equipment. The drill bits wore out much faster, and the borehole itself was constantly threatening to close under the enormous pressure.
It's like trying to keep a corridor open through boiling pea soup. Extremely difficult, but also delicious. I like pea soup.
Then, in 1984, disaster struck. At a depth of 12 kilometers, the drill string broke. Over 5 kilometers of drill pipe had to be cut off and left behind at depth. The engineers had no choice but to start again at 7 kilometers and drill a so-called sidetrack. A second attempt, so to speak. 5 years later, in 1989, they reached the magic mark of 12,262 meters. To this day, this is the deepest point ever drilled, an absolute world record. But the combination of extreme heat, technical problems, and let's be honest, financial and political difficulties after the collapse of the Soviet Union made it impossible to continue drilling. Work was stopped in 1992, and the facility was finally sealed in 2005. Today, all that remains are the ruins in this rusty cover, but the scientific findings are worth their weight in gold.
We had to completely revise our models of the temperature distribution inside the Earth. We now know that the Earth's crust is much more permeable than we thought, and we've learned that even in the most extreme environments, traces of life can be preserved. An insight that is also extremely important for the search for life on other planets. Of course, one question remains: how deep could we really drill if we had the right technology? In theory, we would have to drill through the entire Earth's crust, about 30 kilometers, to reach the mantle.
That would be a geoscientist's dream. But with the temperatures that prevail there, estimated at 500 degrees Celsius and above, we would need completely new materials and drilling techniques. Currently, the Shendeteiki-1 project is underway in China's Taklamakan Desert, where a vertical borehole has reached a depth of 10,910 meters, not only tapping oil and gas reserves, but also specifically investigating geological structures at depth. The Iceland Deep Drilling Project, which is drilling high-temperature geothermal wells over 4,000 meters deep, is also still ongoing. Such projects show that the race to the bottom is by no means over. On the contrary, each new well not only brings us closer to the Earth's mantle, but also requires technologies that previously seemed like science fiction.
Maybe one day we'll manage to break the Soviets' record. Maybe future generations will laugh at our measly 12 kilometers.
That's what she said.
So what is the story behind the claims that scientists at the Kola hole heard the screams of lost souls from hell? YouTube is full of these claims and supposed recordings like this one. About all these recordings, you could say that while it would make for an exciting plot in a horror movie, it's completely made up and totally far-fetched. If something like Dante's Inferno really exists, it's certainly not buried a few kilometers beneath our feet. So even if it's entertaining, don't believe these videos. So, what remains? The Kola borehole remains an impressive monument to human curiosity and proof that the mysteries of our own planet are at least as fascinating as the vastness of space. I'll keep you updated on any further developments. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to give a thumbs up so we can hit 5,000 likes.
And speaking of space, something incredible has just happened with the interstellar visitor 3I Atlas. It is no longer alone and is being observed. What is behind this? Is it a comet, an asteroid, or something else entirely? You can find out in the video shown above on the right. Be sure to check it out, it's very exciting. At the bottom right, you'll find another video about science and space. Otherwise, I'd say see you in the next video. Take care, everyone.